How's it going, everyone? Mad Spartan here, and today I'm bringing you war number 7. I really feel like we're just cruising right through this season, like I just started. I feel like time's flying by. I'm definitely happy with the progress I'm making so far. Today, we are up against League of Extraordinary Champions. Now, this war wasn't too in-depth for me. I end up only taking my path and also Power Snack Onslaught, which I've taken a bunch of times. But I'm definitely happy that at least I'm taking a mini. You know, I'm just trying to be as useful as possible to my battle group. I know I'm not able to do a lot sometimes, but I'm definitely happy about the times that I can. There is a Domino EMP here, so it's overall kind of like the same thing I've always been doing. We are up against League of Extraordinary Champions, which is one of the few alliances that I actually know due to the fact of how many times we fought them. Now, first up, we do have an Antimo, which, to be honest, I'm not really sure why they put him here. I mean, he's not a bad play, but it's not a great play. A lot of it comes from the fact that he's not awake, so he's not even starting with a single concussion, which is a big reason why he's such a problem. If he doesn't have his concussion, he gains hydration at a slower rate, which means I can play the fight longer without worrying about him going unstoppable. And also, his reverberation only happens 15% of the time, with each concussion, I believe, adding 25 or maybe 35% to the actual total itself. So when he's not awake, only 15% of the time am I being dealt damage. And I believe that it could even stack to double damage, because I believe it is a blue number, which means it can go past 100 and then also stack happening again. Now, next up, we do have a spot, which it's kind of easy to fight spot. You know, what I like to do is I like to bait out the SP1, immediately punish it so that I pause his spots and try to get him aggressively to another bar before it runs out the cooldown, so he's never gaining up to the 5 spots, which gives him the free damage, and it's just overall a problem. Now, it's not too much of a like a deciding factor, but his buff immunity debuff actually gives us a Fury from her Haymaker. So definitely really just like a nice little bonus from it. Kind of like when they run suicides and you start the fight with 2 Furies. It's not like a huge thing, but it definitely doesn't like not help. And we're actually being pretty well with the aggressiveness. We're allowed to get him to another SP1 before he has time to build any. I think he ended up building one there, but he ends up losing one when it goes in cooldown. So we are constantly maintaining him at 2 spots. So it's definitely total completion at that point. And just like that, we're done. I'm definitely very excited with how I'm moving. I'm learning how to use Titania a little bit better. I'm trying to learn how to link her heavy into her SP3 a little bit easier. I know that with the next coming wars, I've actually been pretty good with it, prioritizing linking it, especially with the relic stun. It kind of makes it even more brain dead to use her. So I'm definitely happy with the progress I'm making. I know that a couple people in the comments will say I'm not really using her correctly, but I've said multiple times I've been using her for a long time, and you know, I know what's needed to kill someone and what's not needed. So like if I can do a 5-hit combo into SP3 and that kills them, who cares if I can heavy spam or not. I do end up throwing an SP2 here to not only build my Haymaker faster, but to keep him in the corner. I don't want him to have the other side of the screen. I want this SP2 to come out before he gets Wrath, because if he ends up throwing it while he has Wrath, he'll end up keeping, I believe, like 50% or 75% of the meter used. Unfortunately, he did not throw it. He waited for himself to have Wrath, which kind of sucked. But the good news is when I have my Haymaker and he's unstoppable from Tarnak, we can actually still attack him like it's nothing. He is slowly pushing us into the corner, which is what I was afraid of. I know when he has Wrath at Tarnak, you kind of have to just like let him do his thing, which is annoying, but he does end up throwing the SP2 and he has used all of his meters. So now we have full control of the fight. Gonna slowly push him on the other side of the screen, try to hold on to my Haymaker so that I'm able to cash it into an SP3 there, try to bait out the SP2 and link it with a heavy, and just like that was able to throw the SP3 into it, which is really good damage. As you can see, he had 44% health, and afterwards he has 20. So it took out 24% of his health, and with all the debuffs, not only would it stop the regen that's coming out, but it also actually prevents the regen from coming out on itself. And just like that, he is done. I'm feeling so pumped. You know, the wars have been good recently, so I'm just overall like feeling better. I did have a 3rd spot open, so I was able to bring a white mag, which, to be honest, I just kind of threw on the Domino. I don't necessarily need it, but, you know, it's just something to have at that point. if I have an open spot, I might as well give myself 15% attack boost as well as a passive stun, you know, which doesn't hurt. I'll end up throwing it on the onslaught as well, just for the extra damage boost. Now, because I am using iDoom on Domino, it is a 6-star ascended Domino, so I know that the critical failure is going to be a lot more. That's why the gray boost is even more important. And also with the 15% attack increase, it also helps too, with taking her down faster before the game just gets out of hand. And as you guys can see, she's already at 80% health, and the crits that turn into shock bursts are just melting her at this point. She's all the way at 70% health, and due to the gray boost, we're still at 100, so feeling very confident about this fight. I don't want to overextend by throwing the heavy and getting too confident, and then she takes it away and just takes all my health away. So I am going to be trying to play super safe with iDoom. I never want to throw the SP3. I just feel like it becomes more of an issue than what you want from it. I know that because it gives both champions an energize, which, you know, obviously makes it harder when you're fighting someone on defense, but it makes it so that you can take away power. But if she unfortunately takes away the aura, I'm not able to throw the SP2, and then it ends up being for nothing. She'll have 100% combat power rate with no benefit of me taking her power. So if I ever unfortunately get to an SP3, I'll never throw it, because I just feel like with the 8% power gain when a buff ends, and just Domino being who she is, and with 100% combat power rate, I don't want to deal with anything like that, so I won't. That's why even when I don't have the shock, I still throw the SP2, because it still does good shock damage. And next up, we do have a Power Snack Onslaught, which not really much to it. I do unfortunately have to get rid of the regen boost to put on the indestructible boost. Now, I feel like the regen boost is beneficial in this fight if you never get hit. You know, it's obviously... and it also mitigates all of the Neuroshock damage. But what I found is you don't take Neuroshock damage, obviously, when you're in Haymaker, and you constantly have a Power Sting on you, so you're constantly willpower regenning. On top of the Crush debuffs and the Daunts, you know, if you ever parry Onslaught, if you want to on purpose, you could parry Onslaught to allow him to give you a permanent debuff so you can permanently willpower regen. I do think he mitigates it by like 50% or something like that, so it allows you to use him on attack. But either way, you're still going to be willpower regenning a decent amount, because you can see there, even with the 2 debuffs, I'm willpower regenning for like 452. And because I'm constantly dexing the SP1, I'm never accumulating such a high Neuroshock count that I'm going to end up melting from it instead. So actually, you're actually positively regenerating the whole fight, so you don't need a gray boost, so you might as well throw something that's actually useful, which would be an indestructible, because there's a lot of times this AI kind of gets a little wacky, you know, especially with his Crush debuff, because just like that, that's just me missing the dex. But a lot of times he'll like walk up forward, and if you expect him to dash back or to throw a medium, he'll throw a jab that'll somehow cover the entire distance and like clip you, which is always annoying. But you know, I personally feel like the best fights are won when you lose the indestructible in the beginning of the game, because now you have to play perfect without it. We're going to keep him in the corner here. Going to throw a relic soon so I can link it with my Haymaker Heavy and hope that kills him. Because I'm kind of just hoping here that I'm able to. So I'm going to throw the Heavy into the SP3 there. Didn't have to use the relic because I'll probably use it to extend my combo after he gets back up from this SP3. We do take a huge chunk of his health away, throw another Heavy for a boost, and then throw another Heavy in case he survived that. And just like that, with total domination from Titania, we take him down basically with ease. Now, the war is really close at the moment of me voiceovering this, so I'm not really sure how how it's gonna go. You know, I try not to look too much anymore, because it's just based off, like, you know, what I was saying before when I took a break. It's just something that adds to the stress. I'd rather just get in, play the game, you know, talk to my alliance members, and then that's it. So that's what I try to do. You know, occasionally I will check the score and see if we're winning or losing. It is really close at the moment, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna go, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate everyone that's watching all my videos. I've now realized that the other videos that I'm playing, other games other than Contest of Champions, are actually getting a lot of views. I don't know if it's a collection from the shorts that I've started doing from them or the TikToks, but either way, I'm appreciating all the support. I'm glad that our channel is growing beyond Contest of Champions. I definitely want to be able to play multiple games, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.